I'd like to discuss the 7 warning signs of cirrhosis. Now, there are a lot of additional symptoms, but there are 7 main symptoms that you need to be aware of. So, cirrhosis is an advanced liver problem. It's end-stage liver disease. Now, what's fascinating about the liver is that it has incredible reparative cells. Normally, these cells lie dormant until some injury comes along, whether it's alcohol, nicotine from smoking, drugs, medication, junk food, seed oils like in corn oil, soy oil, which create inflammation, or refined sugars, carbohydrates, and especially fructose. But you also have viruses too. Inflammation that's going on in the liver that becomes chronic, or they develop a fatty liver, which then creates inflammation. And it's really the inflammation that triggers these very interesting repair cells. And when these cells are chronically irritated, they develop a very specialized type of cell called a myofibroblast. But the problem is you lose function. Your risk for cancer in the liver goes way up when you get cirrhosis. And because the liver makes bile every single day, you're going to get insufficient bile, which is going to affect your digestion, especially fats, omega-3, fat-soluble vitamins, and the elimination of cholesterol and toxins, because you need bile as a way to help transport this toxic material out of the body. Also, vitamin A is affected. Your liver retains and stores a lot of vitamin A. So without a good functioning liver, you're going to be low in vitamin A. Also, iron is a problem because your liver stores iron, but the liver being damaged lowers your ability to retain iron. So it can go both ways. The liver stores glycogen, which is stored glucose, to help you go through the night without eating. Body need glycogen. They can't run on ketones 100%. So if you're not able to hold the glucose in the liver, then these tissues do suffer. And just as a side note, because your body does need some sugar, it doesn't mean you should consume sugar. Your body can make it from non-carbohydrate sources. The liver is also involved in digestion. Carbs, protein, and fats. So that's going to be impaired. Also, it's not going to eliminate the toxins fully. So you're going to get a backup of toxic material in the body. And it usually shows up in your skin, in other places, in the endocrine system. The liver makes a lot of cholesterol, but it also gets rid of cholesterol with the help of bile. Also, your liver rids pathogens. So if you can't do that, you can end up with systemic infections. When you see someone who has this protruded belly, like a beer belly, it's a liver problem. IGF, insulin-like growth factor. This hormone is made by your liver. It's triggered by growth hormone. Then we're going to have multiple problems which involve the building of a protein. Also, we're going to have certain types of problems in mobilizing fuel for the body. What's interesting is the liver converts a good portion of the thyroid from T4 to T3. In fact, 80% of this conversion takes place in the liver. And T4 is the inactive thyroid hormone, and T3 is the active. Vitamin D is so important in your immune system, in getting rid of pain. The liver also buffers certain hormones like estrogen, cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So with liver damage, you can't buffer these hormones. So you get this spike in cortisol, you get a spike in estrogen. There's another hormone, testosterone, which really gets messed up with the liver. And then we have another liver function called blood clotting. So without that, you bleed easily, okay? You bruise easily. You have these red spots. You just barely bump yourself and it turns into this like hematoma. All right, so now let's get into the 7 signs that you may have cirrhosis. Number 1, dark urine. One of the functions of the liver is to help to recycle red blood cells and the byproduct of red blood cells. And so when that doesn't occur, we get a darker urine. Okay, so that's one clue. Number 2, mood and personality changes. Now, why? Because with the liver being damaged, you can't break down ammonium. Okay, so you start getting this buildup of ammonium into the brain, and it affects all sorts of neurotransmitters. All right, number 3, we have ascites. I mentioned that. That is a fluid-filled sac in your gut. That is not fat. It's like fluid that's leaking from the liver into your abdomen. All right, now number 4, jaundice. The whites of the eyes become yellow. Your skin becomes like a yellowish orange, okay? Number 5, you're going to be tired no matter how much sleep that you get. Number 6, you have this chronic discomfort in the right upper abdomen. Number 7, itchy hot feet is another clue that there could be cirrhosis. All right, so those are the 7 signs. Now, what do we do about it? That's the next question. Well, there's a plan that I have for you. Number 1, you have to stop whatever is causing the problem. Get to the root cause, okay? Whether this is involving your diet because you're eating a lot of junk food, deep fried foods, fried in soy oil or corn oil, which is the worst, or you're drinking too much alcohol, taking drugs. Too many medications could cause this problem too. And so you may want to get with your doctor and try to use more natural remedies. For example, there are a lot of benefits using milk thistle. Milk thistle is probably one of the most powerful natural remedies for the liver. So whether you have arthritis, maybe you have fluid retention, you should probably look up milk thistle, and you may be able to replace with some of your medications, but of course, check with your doctor. Number 2, TUDCA. What is TUDCA? TUDCA is a very special type of a bile salt that's really good for your liver. Next natural remedy is tocotrienols. This is a special vitamin E group of compounds which work like 50 times stronger than tocopherol. I would take at least 300 milligrams per day. Number 4, cruciferous. Why? Because people with cirrhosis start to build up estrogen in their bodies. They can't eliminate it in cruciferous vegetables, and the liver loves bitter vegetables. So like radishes, broccoli, kale, all really good for the liver. And number 5, I highly suggest you start keto, not just any keto, the healthy version of keto immediately. And finally, number 6, adding fasting to this can be very, very beneficial. Not just intermittent fasting, but prolonged fasting periodically, okay, like 48 hours, sometimes 72 hours. So by clearing out some of these old proteins in the liver, it can be very beneficial to the overwhelming inflammatory process.